Hello. As some of you might know, I've been getting into building some guitar amplifiers. It's just a hobby, something that started in the lockdowns and has sort of got a little bit carried away, like most things that I do seem to. So we're just in my garage at home, and this is where I've been building the amps. I've decided now to build an AC30. I'm going to build like a sort of 1965 top boost. I'm going to do it on turret boards, all kind of hand wired. So I thought I'd show the process, kind of to document it for myself apart from anything else. And you know, if anybody else is interested, great. It's not going to be a tutorial at all because I know very, very little about building amplifiers. It's just something that I've been doing for the last year or so. I've read some excellent books and I've followed some excellent YouTubers, notably Uncle Doug's channel is probably the best thing that I've seen. Psionic Audio is great, and there are a few others as well that are worth watching. Those two are particularly amazing. And it was actually watching the Psionic Audio videos that got me thinking, and I've wanted an AC30 for a long time. I've been looking at the TBX ones because lots of people talk about them and rave about them, and he did some videos about the TBX and he didn't think a lot of them really. He highlighted a lot of the errors with the TBX. So I started looking at 60s ones and they were a lot of money, and then I was thinking, well, I actually want to be able to use it at the studio, give it a good thrashing. I might want to do some gigs with it as well if there's, you know, gigs that are big enough to warrant such a loud amp. But I do have some gigs that are like that. So yeah, I sort of got this idea of perhaps building one. And then as I was looking at lots and lots of other things, and then on a Facebook group about AC30s that I'm in, the chassis cropped up. So I'll show you the chassis now that I've bought. I've ordered loads of other parts. I'll also show you some of what I've done in terms of doing that. It's been a bit of a long process, but here we go. So this is the chassis that I've bought. So obviously it didn't come assembled. I've assembled it. This is all I've done. I just put this pot in. This is just an old pot. I've ordered all new pots for it. Just to work out when the turret boards are in, how high they can be without coming. So I'm using my micrometer to measure all of the holes and everything and make sure that you know, when I'm ordering valve sockets and whatnot, that they're correct. Everything else that I've been doing up to now has been kits, so you buy the kits and it all comes, but this is different. So, and yeah, just like, you know, this is about it really. It's all I've been using, just the ruler. This came from a guy called Steve Smith. Seems like a great guy. He's been quite helpful. I'm also getting some transformers from him as well, and you can see this is the, can you see that? Yeah, just about. Should come out a bit. This is the faceplate, so that's what it'll look like. So what's been really challenging actually with this build so far for me is working out exactly what components to get. There's so many conflicting different information in different places. My friend Peter told me to buy this book a bit ago, so I bought this book, which is great, and this has got all like the circuit diagrams and some of the layouts and stuff. So if you want to build an AC30 or service an AC30, this is really great. Stephen Grosvenor, you actually just buy it from Stephen, and he sends it out to you, which is really cool. There's loads of really good information online as well. I'll show you some of that now. So I've been amassing information about this for quite some time, and I've made this AC30 folder. So I've got some layouts from from various websites. This is like a AC30 with a 15 watt output section, so it's like sort of like an AC15, but not really. AC15 is slightly different. From Mojo Tone, that's been useful to study. I also got this amazing AC30 layout from Turret Board, which is a here it is, Turret Board, which is like a forum that that I go on looking at, you know, amp stuff like you do when you're sad. So one of the most important things for me to do was to kind of ascertain what things I needed. So the first thing that I got was Weber have a kit. So I downloaded their bill of materials and kind of looked through it, and then I made my own bill of materials based on that. The Weber kit is kind of not quite the same, so their layout isn't quite the same as the layout in Stephen's book, and I'm trying to follow like a proper 65 top boost idea. You know, I want it to be perfect, basically. The Weber one's kind of almost there, but it's not quite right. So, but the schematic and stuff is quite useful, and I've been cross-referencing with the one in this book, and cross-referencing it with this layout, which is really nice. This is nice and in colour and stuff. So I've gone through, you know, and made my own bill of materials based on the Weber one, and looked through it. So some stuff has been easier to find than others, and I've been speaking to Steve, who I bought the thing from. I've been speaking to Michael from Modulus Amplification, just about components and things that work. So I've now, if they're in green, I've bought them. Actually, I've just bought some speakers so they can go in green. So I've bought a pair of Celestian Blues, so they can be green now. I only bought them just before I did this video. The transformers are on order, and then you can see I've ordered all of the small components. So if it's in red, I'm struggling to get that, and I've maybe substituted it for something else. Some of the, you know, now that's been difficult for me because I'm not an electronics expert by any means, but fortunately my dad is a physicist and is really, really clever. He's probably the cleverest person I know, and my dad's been great, actually. I admire him constantly about things to do with these amps, and he really, really helps me out. So yeah, this bill of materials that I've made up has been good. I've worked out a rough cost, which is, you know, pretty frightening really. It's like £1,533. Yeah, it's pretty frightening actually, isn't it? So a lot of that stuff though, like I've bought like 200 meters of wire from RS. I probably only need a meter or two of wire. So I've kind of invested in stuff for the future, and I've bought some other components for modding some other amps that I've built as well. I might do some videos about those other amps if anyone's interested in these. Yeah, so that's where it's up to right now. I'll carry on documenting it if people are interested. You know, if you are interested in it, then do give the video a like, because, you know, if you're not interested, then there's not really that much point in me doing a video, is there? But I'm saying that, I'd quite like to document it for myself anyway. It's quite interesting for me watching back other videos that I've done like this. I find it interesting, if only just to see how my hair's receding and my weight's gaining. But other than that, no, it is interesting. It's interesting to see. Hope everyone's well. Yeah, see you soon. Cheers.